based off the Ford Escape compact crossover. Today, Furman Ford has given us the 2022 Ford Bronco Sport Big Benz in your hot pepper red. This is the 4x4 with your safari style roof. The interior will get the easy clean cloth with the GOAT mode. Does the rivals even compete, such as the Toyota RAV4, the Mazda CX-5, the Volkswagen Tiguan, or are they more of just a luxury interior where this one could do a little bit more than that with that GOAT mode? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and we're going to go over all the specs and details starting now. Ford Bronco Sport Big Benz starts off with the carbonized gray for your grille inserts. The badging of the Bronco will be in the white, so it just gives that highlight. And this is a signature look that integrates into the Lassol design headlamp assembly with your signature daytime running, working down the lower bit with your fog lamp assembly. And you have 8.3 inches of ground clearance, so you can do any of your maneuverabilities that you'd want. A wide stance at 75.9 inches with a height of 71.9 inches. When we're comparing this against the rivals, the Toyota RAV4 would be the only one that could pretty much pack some of the performance cues that's underneath this. The hood proportions is going to be long, flat, and it projects all over onto the side, giving a flat fenders, and it has the matte black that's going to surround these 17-inch carbonized, gray painted, high gloss aluminum wheels. The front disc reading at 12.1 inches, the rear at 11.9 inches. Independent McPherson strut front suspension with a stabilizer bar, twin tube hydraulic gas pressurized shock absorbers. The rear will have an independent double lateral link semi-trailing arms with a stabilizer bar, springs, and your hydraulic gas pressurized shock absorbers. The length at 172.7 inches with the wheelbase at 105.1 inches. What I like about the Big Benz is you get the badging on the side that's unique to it. You get the matte black that's going to cover all of the lower skirt, which is great whenever you're taking it to do a little bit of off-roading. You got the side air vent. I like that they put the matte black on the side view mirror caps too, because if you are doing some off-roading with the vehicle, you're not going to have to worry about any chips. You're going to get the gloss black that's going to be in the front, giving a two-tone look to that safari roof with the roof rails in the matte black. I like how they give this gloss black look here as well, because it gives that Land Rover styling cues, which make it set apart from the rivals. And when we're talking about the Toyota RAV4, you would have to get the TRD off-roading, and the price point to that is going to be substantially higher than this one, and you still have all the capabilities. You have your B-shape LED tail lamps, and the best part about this is you could still tow. The 1.5 liter is what we have at 2,000 pounds, with the 2.0 at 2,200 pounds, which will be less than the RAV4. However, it's pretty much spot on with the rest of the competition. Bronco Sport badging is going to be all white. You do have an opening for the glass, which they used to do this back in the day. It's sad that they don't do it too much anymore, but I like this because you don't have to open up the full tailgate to get inside to your cooler. But if you wanted to, very easy access. Go inside and you got your bottle opener right there on the side. You got the Lassol badging that's going to be on all of the sides with the 12 volt. You have your adjustable LED lights that are right there on the tailgate as well for any camping or anything like that. The rear bench split folds at a 60-40 split. The new Ford Bronco Sport Big Benz definitely has that safari, off-roading, rugged styling. And again, comparing it to the rivals, they're going to have more of a luxury styling. This can fit either category, and you can't get that in the competition unless you're going to go to a significant price increase, and they back the performance with a 1.5 liter EcoBoost turbocharged engine producing 181 horsepower and 190 pound-feet of torque that's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, achieving 25 to 28 mpgs at 0 to 60 just under 6 seconds, with a quarter mile at 14.5 seconds at top speed at 125, stopping 70 to 0 at 163 feet. This is something that you could take for everyday use, do some light off-roading, and you still got luxury and styling cues on the exterior with the ruggedness to back it. Let me know in the comments what you think about the 2022 Ford Bronco Sport Big Benz as we go into the interior, go over the tech, and take this for our test run. Entering inside the Ford Bronco Sport, you're going to receive 41.5 inches of headroom, 42.4 inches of legroom. It's a unique gray slate cloth that's easy cleaning, 8-way power adjustment for the driver, manual adjustment for the passenger, which is something that, you know, I complain about, but at this price point, we're gonna let it slide. The dashboard is gonna get this B-shaped air vents. I like the golf ball texture here. Very smooth and seamless. You got a storage pocket next to your push start button. Climate control, 8-inch touchscreen audio system. Optional navigation, otherwise it's just going to be a touchscreen with your AM, FM, Sirius XM. You have your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Wi-Fi hotspot, Sync 3 with Ford Pass Connect that connects up to 10 devices 50 feet away. Your driver assist, you can configure it the way you like to make it easier for your driving. Put it into reverse, you have your reverse camera with full trajectory, and it's the full screen, so it's very easy to see. You can click for that tow line as well. In the center here, we have a wireless charger. You got your rotary knob to put it into gear. You have your GOAT mode, which will go through your normal, your eco, your sport, your slippery, or your sand. So you have all the capacity, especially if you live up north, you can drive this vehicle. I mean, it's a 4x4, just don't do anything too crazy. Elbows, pretty soft. Open up inside here to 2 USB ports, a C and an A, and it is pretty deep and wide. Cup holders, 16.9 ounce. I would say a 20 ounce. I do like the fact that we have that safari roof because it adds so much more headspace. Steering wheel, you can opt for a leather wrap. I do like that it's multi-function with the gloss black and the gauge cluster. You can go through an array of information on that digital readout in the center. Otherwise, the tach and the odometer are analog. For the door panel, harder materials are going to be on the top. One touch up and down for all the windows. And storage, you can fit maybe 4 or 5 16.9 ounce water bottles. So fitting things inside is pretty good. You have a lot of space up here. Let's see how I look in the back. For the back seat, I'm at 41.7 inches of headroom, 36.9 inches of leg room. Again, that safari roof just really adds to the space. You have a storage zipper here with the Lasol all in the interior, and you have areas here that you can put like a flashlight or anything like that. I do like how it's so user-friendly. You got some pockets here on the side, your air vents, 2 USB ports. It's not a complete flat floor. That's the only unfortunate thing. Elbows are going to be relatively soft, and you can fit maybe a 20-ounce water bottle. For the door panel, same segment, harder materials on the top, one touch up and down, and maybe 2 16.9-ounce water bottles. It's a small, compact SUV, and you're not really expecting to get so much room, but it still feels very rugged when you're sitting into the back. Let's see how I look in the center. Sitting into the center, headroom is not going to be an issue. Legroom, however, will be. I'll be sharing my leg space, feet space, shoulder, butt, you name it. I'm going to be sharing it. The nice thing, though, is if I want to take things out of my pocket, like I said, you have these pockets here. The air vents are going to keep me cool, but because of this higher roof line, you actually feel the air circulate a lot more too. So there's a lot of pluses to it, even though it's going to be a tight fit for 3 to fit my dimensions. Fitting 2 in the back seat of any compact SUV is always going to be more desirable. And the best part is we have storage behind both of those front seats. So it does make up for the lack of it in the door panel. Taking the 2022 Ford Bronco Sport Big Benz out for our test run. The nice thing about these vehicles is you have good ground clearance, so you sit higher up than most of your competitors. Except for the Toyota RAV4, you're going to be right about the same. But when you're comparing it against the Mazda CX-5 or the Volkswagen Tiguan, this one does have a higher setup. The hood is long, so it's going to project that the vehicle feels longer than it is. It doesn't feel like a compact SUV. It actually feels longer because of how broad the shoulders are and the length of that hood. But for the visibility, I mean, it's pretty box shaped, so it really makes it easy. 1.5 liter EcoBoost turbocharged. Here we go. It does what it needs to do. I mean, you're not at 200 horsepower, you're less. The good thing is it's still a smooth, quiet ride. And I do like that because this is a box-shaped SUV. Give her a little go to get her on the interstate, 181 horsepower. with 190 pound-feet of torque. It's not going to necessarily throw you back so much, but everyday use vehicle, I can see someone doing it. A great alternative too if you're looking to get something a little bit less expensive than a Jeep Wrangler. Obviously this is not something very comparable to that level. It just, you do feel a little bit of that ruggedness, more so with the proportion layout. So that is something that is very unique, the way they've done these Bronco Sport. Now there is 3 things I like and 3 things that I dislike. Is anything more than that, I'd be buying this vehicle. First, we're gonna hear that noise. Not a throaty exhaust, but you're not really expecting it with a 1.5 liter EcoBoost turbocharged. Going to the first thing that I like is the rear hatch, where you can open the rear window. They used to do this all the time back in the days. Now they don't do it, and I like it because you don't have to open up the whole tailgate to get inside to your cargo space. The second thing that I like is this safari roof, because it actually makes you feel like you have so much more room because you have so much more head space. The last thing that I like about it is if you're looking for something for an everyday vehicle and it's practical with gas consumption, you can do some off-roading if you want to. It's quiet and it's comfortable. You got power seat adjustment for the driver. You don't on the passenger side. I wish that they had that. 3 things that I dislike starts off with the door storage. You do have storage that is everywhere else, but when you're comparing it to the rivals, you actually will lose some cargo space because of the door panels being a lot tighter. Even though they've added some little cubbies, it's still not necessarily enough. The second thing that I dislike is the rear seats. It's pretty tight considering the car actually feels wider and longer, which takes me to the third thing that I dislike. It feels a lot longer than 172 inches, and that can really deter somebody from this type of vehicle if they're looking for a compact SUV, because it almost feels like a Mazda CX-9 instead of a CX-5. And there is a little bit of a difference. That's a third row. You don't have that storage capacity in this vehicle to do that. The towing capacity could be more. That is something also that I dislike in this particular vehicle, because I think 3,500 pounds or at least 3,000 pounds would be comparable, especially for the size of this, and the fact that you could fit quite a bit of stuff. I also like whenever you're going into that tailgate that you have those LED lights, because if you go camping, I personally do, you're always having issues with lighting at the end of the night. This one got you covered. When I look at the rivals, do they compete? The Toyota RAV4 TRD Off-Road, I've done a review on that one, and I would say it does compete pretty well with this one. The Volkswagen Tiguan is going to have so much more storage, and you can opt for a third row with that one as well. So if you're looking for like a not so large SUV, compact size third row, that would really be your best bet with that one. For 2-row vehicles, or the CX-5 on the Mazda, that's going to be very luxurious, turbocharged engine as well. So performance-wise, it's going to be relatively about the same. Interior space, you're going to have more space in the back seat. So if you're looking to fit 3, that might be a route. But if you're looking for the rugged off-roading look, plus some luxury interior with the cargo to back it, I mean, this is definitely, I would say, the best out of the category, because they do offset some of the areas that they lack, putting little cubbies everywhere. I like to thank Furman Ford Countryside for giving us this 2022 Ford Bronco Sport Big Benz for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, click that subscribe button, check out the details, the merchandise, the website, and everything we do here at Hawkeye Rides.